Hello and thank you for tuning into the Stonyfield Outdoor channel. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, we would appreciate it if you would do that. Today we're going to have a little discussion about gun owners and coming together and why we should. You see, since the Parkland shooting, I've been following a lot of forums on social media, and I'm seeing a lot of gun owners that maybe they own a revolver, maybe they own a subcompact carry pistol, maybe they own bolt-action rifles and shotguns like I have over my shoulder, but they'll tell you no one needs this. And that's a problem. As firearm owners, we need to come together as a brotherhood and a sisterhood, not separate ourselves with, oh, well, I'm only good with what I have and no one needs that because hunting, or no one needs this at the range, and look at the destruction it causes when it falls into bad people hands, not good citizens, bad people. So what we need to talk about is, what is the Second Amendment, first off? And you might disagree with me on this, but this is my interpretation of it. It is not about hunting. It's not about self-defense in your home. The Second Amendment was drafted so that we have equal arms to a tyrannical government that is trying to oppress us. That way, we can fight back. And that's what it is. Being able to protect yourself going hunting and stuff are afterthoughts that fall under it. But the primary purpose of the Second Amendment is so that we can fight tyranny. End of the discussion. People will tell you, hey, when they wrote it, there was only muskets. Well, that kind of gives you an idea of why they wrote it and why they did it. Because it was equal arms. When we fought the British, it was all muskets. Everybody had muskets. If we would have fast forwarded to the times of bolt-action rifles, everybody would have had bolt-action rifles. Do you see where I'm going with this? Just because technology changes and things evolve does not mean the fundamentals of our rights change. These are our constitutional rights, and we have to protect them. And if you're a gun owner, shotgun owner, bolt-action deer hunter, compact carry pistol owner, maybe like this one that only holds 7 rounds, and you're good with that, which I'm good with this in certain situations, but you say, no one should have this. You're basically chewing your own leg off, because here's what's going to happen. And you can see it right now with the current House bill. They don't just go after this and AKs and SKSs. They have wordage in there like semi-automatic, detachable magazine. This is a semi-automatic rifle, a modern sporting rifle with a detachable magazine. This is a semi-automatic pistol with a detachable magazine. You see, the people in Congress that are completely opposed to this, the majority of them are also completely opposed to all of these. And that's where you have to watch. And that's why you need to have your brothers and sisters back as firearm owners. They don't want to just get rid of this. They want to get rid of all of this. Maybe down the line, this revolver, it looks antique, right? But maybe they say, that's a semi-automatic. You don't have to reload the action to squeeze rounds off. And you can easily open it and reload. Kind of the same function as this, where I squeeze rounds off, I detach the magazine, I reload one. They don't want you to do that. They don't want you to have even this. But you have to realize, they're pulling the wool over your eyes. They focus on this big bad thing that a few bad people got their hands on when they shouldn't have, and they did destructive things. But there's millions of these out there, and there's millions of good citizens that have them. If this was an epidemic, there would be tens of thousands of people dying every day. There's not. So it's not really a problem. More people die from this in a year than they ever will from this. Everybody needs to calm down, get the emotions out of the way, and think logically when it comes to our constitutional rights. I understand. I'm a father. I have a daughter. I understand. Kids die in school shootings. It's horrible. But it does not mean that we legislate our rights away so that tyranny could eventually oppress us. And I know for some people it sounds crazy. If you're anti-gun, I'm talking crazy right now. And that's fine. I don't really care what you think, because your opinion's already made up. I'm talking about firearm owners need to come together and support each other. We need to support each other. We need to support the groups that support us. Because there are people elected at the federal and state level throughout this country that do not want you to have your birthrights. Think about that. Before you say, no one should have this, you should say to yourself, oh, well, he's cool with having that. He's a good person. He's not going to hurt anybody. I'm cool with what I have. But let him have that because it's our right. We've already had our gun rights reduced with acts in the past. If you want to make this an SBR, you have to get ATF approval. You have to get a tax stamp. You have to wait months and months to do that. You want to get a machine gun. You want to sell machine guns. You got to go class 3. There's already restrictions. Felons are not allowed to own firearms. Doesn't stop them. Now does it. Illegals are not allowed to own firearms. Doesn't stop them. Now does it. People who have been involuntarily committed to mental institutions are not allowed to own firearms. It doesn't stop them, does it? So why would you turn around and give people in a governing body who don't want you to have any of this an inch? Because if they get an inch and all of a sudden those people multiply and there's more of them and they take control, they'll take a mile. So if you think it's okay to have this, but it's not okay to have this, then you need to reevaluate your position on your rights and your position on your elected officials. You need to really take your emotions out of things and think, just for a moment, what if there was a whole house body of Nancy Pelosi's and a whole house body of Dianne Feinstein's, and Obama was president again? It's not going to happen. I'm using it as an example. Well, I can tell you right now, that's gone. That's gone. That's gone. That's gone. That bolt-action rifle back there that you hunt deer with, that's too powerful of a bullet. You don't need that. And you don't need the ability to shoot 5 rounds. You should be a better shot. You should only have to kill that deer with 1. So why do you need 5? That's a danger to society. And that's exactly what's going to happen if gun owners do not come together and support each other. Like I said, there are millions and millions of these things throughout this country, and there's millions of people that own them, and they're not hurting anything. If I walked away from this table and all these guns were loaded, and I locked this place down for a year and came back, there'd be a little more dust on them, and that's the only thing that would change. It's bad people using tools to do bad things that cause hysteria, and that's how your rights get stripped, and you can't allow that to happen. So thank you for tuning into this. Thank you for enjoying my little rant. I don't know if it made a difference to you or not, but if you're a gun owner, no matter what type of firearm you own, you have to support your fellow gun owners, because there are people out there that are in power that do not want you to have anything. So don't ever say, I'm okay with this and this, but I'm not okay with that. What you need to start doing is saying, I'm okay with what I have. It's the choices that I made, but I still support everybody else's ability to make their own choice of what they can have that's legal. Alright? So, like I said, if you haven't subscribed already, I would really appreciate it if you would do that. And thank you for tuning in. And I think this gets me so angry, I think I'm just going to go out to the range right now and run a few hundred rounds off. That'll make some liberal's head explode, right? Peace.